All right, y'all ready? So it is 5:35 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. So just to remind everyone, make sure you speak clearly and directly into your mic. That way the transcription works as it's supposed to, and everyone can hear us online. All right, so it's November 3rd. We're gonna call roll. Senator Schulte.
Senator Allen.
Here.
Senator Lee.
Here.
Senator Castellanos.
Here.
Senator Guevara.
Here.
Senator Johnson.
Here.
Senator McFarland.
Here.
Senator Mosley.
Here.
Senator Sanchez Martinez. Senator Van Boris.
Here.
Senator M.
Here.
Senator Cowell.
Here.
Senator Schulte here. Senator Quibantoro.
So we have 10 senators present, so we meet quorum. We're going to go ahead and get started with our executive reports. They're not actually up on here. So if you'll give me a second, but if our executives could come forward. Okay, and we're going to get started with Zoe Brown.
I'm not sure if Zoe is on the Teams call right now, but if there's any questions, I'll go ahead and take them. All right, thank you.
We'll move on to Bella Armenta.
Do y'all have any questions? Thank you. Point of information, these weren't sent out. Can these please be sent out?
They were not sent out, but I can send them out after the meeting, if that's okay with everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we had few executive reports this week because there's nothing to report. Maya, if you wanted to say anything, I can, or if you want to speak, you're good. All right. Any questions on this right here? All right, I do need to speak about a personnel issue. Matthew unfortunately did resign from the communications position. There was just a difference in direction, and he felt like he was better going off in other opportunities, which is, we don't want him to be held back or unhappy in his position. So he did resign, but we'll probably keep you updated on what the comms position will look like going forward in the next weeks.
Grant?
So is the communications department, in terms of retweeting about events from Eagles Nest or events from SGA's trying to put on, will there be any delay in the quickness or preparedness they come out, or is that still going to be relatively pretty good?
No, we should be good. We have two people that have control of the website. One's Matthew, and one was David. So David will handle website stuff, and then Devin, David, and I all have access to the social media. It's not something we did this during the summer when we didn't have a comms director, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue to just continue doing that until we figure out what we're going to do.
Thank you.
All right, if there are no more questions, we'll take Devin Skinner if he's on the call.
I am. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to address them. I did have one additional thing. As far as the TSGC, there's been some unusual developments with the University of Houston and the University of Texas at Austin. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the TSGC, but if I get more information on how that would interact with TSGC, I'll be sure.
Any questions? We also have the vice president's report. He's not currently in the building, but if you have any questions. All right. So we'll move on to the next part of the agenda. Senate Standing Committee reports. We'll begin with the Campus Life and Environment Committee. Chair, Senator Johnson. Whichever you like.
Y'all okay if I take my mask off? So we haven't met. We've met once so far, and in that meeting, we discussed a possible opportunity for that we come back in the spring for a organization cleanup on campus, to where it would be kind of a competition who can pick up the most bags of trash or pick up this. The ideas have not exactly been laid out yet. We will be meeting hopefully relatively soon on the next ideas of what that will entail. I have spoken to Casey just on certain aspects of what they could possibly do to help us, and we'll air those out later. We also lost our vice chairperson, Senator Megan McAdams, so we will also be addressing that in the upcoming whatever meeting we have, when all senators can kind of line up with their schedules, because our schedules are kind of hectic. I don't know if any other committees are struggling with that, but that's pretty much where we are. And then we just talked about possible other initiatives than just the different organization cleanup and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we are. Any questions? Okay, thank y'all.
All right, thank you. So it looks like, does anyone from the Diversity and Inclusion Committee, would they like to speak? Senator Cowell?
I can just say that we have nominated Senator Mosley for the chair position, but a vote has not taken place yet. We haven't been able to find a time where all of us are free. Nobody has nominated vice chair position yet, but those will be addressed when we do eventually meet.
Are there any questions? Okay, next up, the Internal Senate Committee. I am the chair, Andy McDowall. And so we've actually been meeting quite frequently, doing various things. I think we've kept the Senate pretty up to date with what we've been doing. Just a reminder that we have a Senate feedback form that was posted on the Teams. I can certainly post that again if it's gotten lost in, the feed. We also have been working just to, clean up some things. We've submitted legislation, and we're about to consider the referral that the Senate made regarding the Code of Conduct amendment, and that's from the Internal Senate Committee as well. Are there any questions? All right, and we'll move on to, is the vice chair for the Legislative Affairs Committee here? Senator Cowell?
Yeah, I'm the vice chair for the Legislative Affairs Committee. We've met once and appointed a chair and vice chair, but I don't think anything's been referred to us, so we are on standby for when the Senate needs us.
All right. Thank you, chairs, vice chairs, members. Just a reminder, guys, that you can actually generate legislation and sort of send it through the ringer of your committee if you're not sure how it might pan out. Committees are meant to be a collaborative environment, especially for, any issues that you think you'd like a fresh pair of eyes or anything like that. Feel free to send them through your committee and all that. So next, we're going to approve the minutes submitted by Senator Schulte. pull them up real quick. So these are the minutes. They're very nice minutes. Thank you, Senator. Does anyone have any objections? If there are no objections to the minutes as written, they are unanimously approved. So. Next up, we have the consideration of the Senate Code of Conduct Amendment, originally introduced by the Vice President, and then...
Mr. Speaker,
Sir?
before we do any of this, can we move up I move that we postpone any new business until we get the appointments out of the way, so in the error of time.
Is there a second?
Senator Cowell seconds.
Are there any objections? Then the agenda is so amended. And we'll move on to the first appointment. So first is the motion to annul the previous appointment of Ethan Gillis. What this would do is basically say that the last consideration of Ethan Gillis is null and void and not to be considered in any further business of the Senate. So we can take a vote by show of hands. If there's a second, excuse me. So the chair moves to annul. Is there a second?
Senator Johnson seconds.
Okay, thank you. If we can take a vote by show of hands. If you are in favor of annulling Ethan Gillis's previous appointment, please raise your hand. All those opposed, raise your hand. It's unanimous. Ethan Gillis's previous appointment has been annulled. Next up, we have the appointment of Ethan Gillis, nominee to the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences. Ethan Gillis, would you like to take the floor?
Hi. I'm going to take this off because it's impossible to talk through, but hello. Happy to be here right now. I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, address the elephant in the room that this has been an ordeal. It's been a lot. But I want you all to know that I'm incredibly honored and excited to be here right now. I don't have a script today. I'm not going to stand up here. I'm not going to read you my resume. I'm not going to get mad about things. That's not what I'm here to do. I want to instead talk about what I'm passionate about and explain to you what I intend to do if you're so willing to appoint me. First things first, I am very passionate about mental health. And this is a warning if these subjects upset you, but I was hospitalized last September. Ever since then, I've been a massive advocate for it. I employ my passion for it and everything that I do. It is who it's what I stand for. It's something I care a lot about. And another thing I think that's making me so nervous right now is I am a member of the LGBTQ community. I've never admitted that in a public setting like this before, so hi everyone. But I am, and it's something I'm really passionate about. I've always done my best to be an ally, and as I become more accepting of myself, a member of that community. And it's something I care a lot about. This stuff is by no means an exhaustive list. It's not everything I care about, but that's just to give y'all an idea of things I care about, because I don't think I've done a good enough job at expressing to you all what I care about. I'm a flawed person. I'm not perfect by any means, but I have a commitment to growth, a really intense commitment to growth, to becoming a stronger, a better person. And that's my pledge to you all. I don't know how to write legislation. I don't understand every logistic to how this organization works, but I'm committing to you right now, I'm willing to learn, right? I've shared with you all what I'm passionate about. I've shared with you all my willingness to grow. And I do that because I want to know what you're all passionate about, because I think together we can make some really incredible things happen. This organization is it's a blessing. It's a gift. It really is. To have student leaders so committed to serving this school, it means a lot. And I think we can do some really incredible things. So this is my commitment to you all, is a commitment to be the best I can be. And if I'm not being my best, a commitment to grow. Like I said, I don't understand how everything here works, but that's not me saying I'm not willing to learn. I'm not willing to grow. That's why we're all here, every one of us, you know? So yeah, and I guess more than anything, I apologize for not being more myself in how I have presented myself to this organization. I feel like last time I was in this room, the nerves were killing me and I was scared, and I truly hope my demeanor and my body language didn't come off in a way that made y'all think differently about me. I am nervous right now. I was nervous then, and I just hope y'all know that I'm here because I care. Everything that's happened, this whole ordeal, it hasn't been, none of it has been a red flag to me, but an opportunity to grow and an opportunity to make some really incredible things happen. So that's enough about me. I'm here because I want to talk to y'all like humans, like people. I really appreciate you letting me even be here right now, so thank you. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. Thank you guys, I really do appreciate it.
Senator Johnson.
Senator Johnson moves to a period of questioning.
Senator, give that a second.
Are there any opposed? Then we'll move into a period of questioning. Senator Johnson, you have the first question.
First of all, Ethan, I just want to say how brave it is of you to, again, come back, tell us your true self, being true to yourself, very commendable, and my heart goes out to you. And obviously, I loved how you addressed the elephant in the room and that you're willing to put that all behind you and us. So my one question is, if you obviously talked about being an advocate for the LGBTQ plus community here on campus, as well as mental health, is there a specific area that you wish UNT, the SGA, or anything in that entity that you wish would be addressed, or could it be better?
Yeah, I think my thought process when it comes to any of the things I'm passionate about is I need to do more research. You know, I need to get more in depth. I know what I care about, but I don't know every nook and cranny of every issue. And it's something that, if appointed, I'm definitely going to do more research into. Like, I know, like, one thing for me is people aren't aware of a lot of the resources we do have on campus. Like, when I mention, you know, like the Pride Alliance to people, which is a fantastic resource, a lot of them are shocked that that even exists. And that makes me sad. You know, it's a great thing. And it's resources like that, like our counseling and testing center, things like that, that not enough people know about. So like I said, I don't have an answer for everything right now. But I do know, if appointed, I'm going to do everything I can to work with the other senators to make things happen. So yeah, I think I would sit down, I would look into issues, I'd talk to my constituents. I mean, that's what I care about at the end of the day. I'm a very service-oriented person, and I like putting other people first. So I just would sit down and talk to people. I'd be like, hey, like, members of this community or that community, or just people within class, people at UNT, you know, what are problems you're having? Because I know I'm in a position where I don't face a lot of the issues a lot of other people do. That's why I think it's important to go beyond my viewpoint to better understand how other people experience things. So that's my plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Andy, I had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Senator Von Boris.
No, you're fine. I know it's hard sometimes to see on Teams. Hi, Ethan. It is so nice to meet you. I have to apologize because I wasn't present at the last meeting that you were in attendance to. So I'm sorry if I'm asking to repeat yourself, and feel free to give me just a quick rundown. But I would actually love to know what organizations and things you are involved with on campus, just so I could learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, for sure. And this was something that I had mentioned in the original one, the original meeting, that I wanted to stray away from a bit more because I feel like I just sort of listed things I was in and not as much what skills I have from those things. So to give a quick rundown of my involvement here at UNT, I am one of the 2 service coordinators for the UNT Homecoming Committee. I am a Take Flight ambassador for the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, like first year advising program. I am an ambassador for the Student Alumni Association, as well as the philanthropy chair for Phi Kappa Sigma. So that is the extent of my involvement here on campus. A lot of the things I tried to get involved with are service-oriented positions because, like I said, I do really like giving back. It's something that's really important to me, is serving others. And I know that sounds super cheesy and cliche, but it is true. Like, I've always been an empath. I've always cared a lot about other people. And to me, I've made it my goal in my pursuit of becoming a student leader to serve other people around me. I'm incredibly lucky in the amount of support and privilege that I have, and I understand that not everybody is the same. So I'm trying to use those resources that I'm so grateful to have to benefit those around me. So that's a brief rundown of sort of my leadership roles and positions here at UNT, as well as why I am passionate about them.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering my question. You know, I love meeting other people who have a heart for service, and I think it's really important that we have those kind of people be involved in student government because that's what it's all about. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Senator McFarland?
Hi, Ethan. It's good to meet you. I was just appointed last week, so I don't really know much about you. It was good to hear a little more. But my question is not just what you think could be changed, but what you want to do to change things. Because I've been a student who struggled with mental health. I work in the Dean of Students office, and I see on a daily basis students who are struggling with their mental health and have to find resources. What do you want to do to help those students? What do you think should be done to give those students easier access to resources, or anything that you see as a problem? How do you want to solve it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I love the perspective you're coming from on it, like working with in a situation where you see a lot of those students. I think, like I mentioned earlier, a big thing for me is like talking to those people and figuring out like, hey, like what are the problems you're having, like identifying sort of specific problems, and honestly getting people's input from it, being like, what do you think we as senators can do to help, solve this problem? I think one thing specifically that has stressed me out, especially through the pandemic, has been the lack of understanding. I think that comes from a lot of the professors and the administration. And I don't exactly know how much power this specific body has, but doing things within the Senate to perhaps enforce, more understanding on behalf of the professors. I mean, this is a really difficult time we're going through. It still is, and to last week I was out of class because of some really serious and unfortunate personal things, and I was, counted absent by a professor, and that tanked my grade in that class. And it's like, I'm doing everything right. I'm communicating these issues. That understanding isn't coming from the professor's, standpoint. And so that's an issue that I really want to, see what can be done about. Is just like, it sounds dumb, but just like for people to have some more empathy, and to maybe stress that a bit more at administration level, or at a professor level, of staff or faculty level, to see what we can do in that realm, I think would really help. Because a lot of students stress, we're students, a lot of our stress comes from class. And if our classes, our professors, whatever, they're not understanding of how much stress we have going on, like that is, I know for me, has severely impacted my mental health. So that's just one area. Like I said, I'm committing to learning more. And I think if appointed, I'm going to do a lot to make some things happen. So thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Justin?
Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Is that good? Okay, awesome. So I never really thought I'd have to ask this question, but if you were appointed and we had an appointment following your appointment process, would you be able to be non-biased towards that person if you did not like them and judge them solely on their merit?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something members of this body do. And I think that's something, as a member of this body, you commit to. I know for me personally, I would have no issue doing that. I think it's really important to do that. And I know that's something that's been stressed a lot in this organization. But I think me personally, I'd have no issue, none at all, voting on someone. You know, at the end of the day, when someone comes up here, you're judging them on their merit and what they're saying to you. So yeah, that's how I would look at that situation.
Thank you.
Senator Guevara.
Hello. Hi, I'm Abigail. You mentioned that you're in a lot of organizations, and a few things that have plagued the Senate this semester is the time commitment. And you might have said this last time, but are you fully committed into participating and actively being here as a senator?
Yeah, so I did touch on this a little bit last time, but I think it is important because as someone who's a member of a lot of organizations, trying to join an organization that has had people resign because of their time commitment, absolutely a valid concern. So one thing that I have noted is like my largest commitment I think right now would be homecoming crew, and homecoming is next week. So after that, that's not a commitment I'm going to have on my plate anymore. That's what takes up a lot of my time just on a day-to-day basis. So post next week, that's going to be one less commitment. But I mentioned this last time, and I think it's important to drive home. But like I'm someone who like thrives on like being in organizations and being committed to things. Like I find myself most productive on days where I just have like a jam-packed calendar of stuff, you know, and I still find time to take care of myself. You know, I mean, burnout's a serious thing, especially at this point in the semester. I know I'm assuming most of us are feeling it to some extent, but I mean, I thrive off of that involvement. Like I think I'm a more productive and effective person when I have that. And I think because of the way COVID was, where it was so hard to get involved in things, like I'm at a point where I'm like ready to do as much as I can without pushing myself too far. I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't think I could handle it. So I think I'm in a good place to where I can be my best. Like I don't like committing to things if I'm anything less than 110%. So I'm giving you all that guarantee right now that I'm never going to come into this room and not be my absolute best. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any motions on the floor? Senator Johnson.
Senator Johnson moves to go to a period of voting.
Senator Guevara seconds.
If there are no objections, we'll move to a period of roll call voting. Madam Secretary, if you would take the roll call.
Point of information, is it a closed voting or open?
That motion was not made. The motion for closed voting. Casey, if someone would like to recognize Casey Jimenez.
Senator M recognizes Casey Jimenez.
Senator Lee seconds.
If there are no objections.
Traditionally, the precedent is that appointees for any position are let out of the room and then allowed in. But it's still considered an open vote as guests are still here and everything.
Senator Johnson, if you'd be willing to amend your motion since it hasn't been put to the floor.
So do I say I amend my vote or just restate it as
Just restate it, closed vote.
I move that we go to a period of closed voting.
Senator Guevara seconds.
If there are no objections, we'll move to a period of closed voting. Thank you, Mr. Gillis. If you wouldn't mind waiting by the syndicate on the third floor, and someone will tell you the results. Thank you, sir. Sorry about that, y'all, but Madam Secretary, would you take the roll call?
Senator Allen,
Aye.
Senator Lee,
Aye.
Senator Castellanos,
Aye.
Senator Guevara,
Aye.
Senator Johnson,
Aye.
Senator McFarland,
Aye.
Senator Mosley,
Aye.
Senator Van Voris,
Aye.
Senator M,
Aye.
Senator Cowell,
Aye.
Senator Schulte, aye.
With a unanimous vote, Ethan Gillis is appointed to the Senate. Madam Secretary, would you go grab the appointee? Thank you. We're just going to wait a couple minutes while that happens. Congratulations, Senator Gillis. You've been appointed to the SGA Senate. If you'd like to take a seat up here, and you can begin voting immediately. Okay, next on the agenda is a Supreme Court nomination. Ben Duenas. Yeah.
Hello, y'all. So I just wrote some quick points that I want to. Oh, first of all, I want to. What's it called?
Mr. Nominee, if you wouldn't mind, does the executive branch have any conflicts of interest?
Hello. I don't know if Devin wants to speak on this.
Would someone move to recognize the president?
I think he's in a parking garage.
Senator M recognizes moves to recognize the president.
Is there a second?
Senator Allen seconds.
Mr. President, if you'd like to speak.
Thank you. So, the Supreme Court nominee, Ben Duenas, from what I can, from the best of my understanding, has one possible conflict of interest. They're on a Latinx Hispanic student union or LHSU committee, and are a member of the LHSU, which David is the chief of staff of. David wasn't involved in the interview or selection process for the candidate, but as David is a senior member of the executive staff, I wanted to make sure that was clear. Outside of that, I am not aware of any other conflicting interests.
Thank you. Would someone like to recognize Chief of Staff?
Senator Allen recognizes the chief of staff.
Senator Guevara second.
If there are no objections.
Yes, I am also in LHSU. I'm on the community service committee with Ben as well. So I just wanted to, but I was not involved in the selection process.
All right. Sorry about that, Ben.
All good.
Proceed, please.
Yeah. So I'm a senior transfer from San Antonio College. This is my second year at UNT, but my first semester on campus. And so, yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm also honored, very honored to be presented with this opportunity to be a justice. And I just have wrote down a couple of things as to why I believe I'm a good fit. Um, most importantly, I believe, or I really care about the student body and care about making a difference. And I've always wanted an opportunity to practice what I've learned, being a political science major. And I'm also readily available, other than being an LHSU and the community service committee. I have no other obligations. And a couple of things that I've been involved in the past are uh, I was in the leadership position at a summer camp. I was a senior counselor, and that just came with like more responsibilities, including things that like being able to make quick decisions and decisions that affected other people and people around me. And I also worked a canvassing position at URGE, which is United for Reproductive and Gender Equity. And there I just was working in canvassing around San Antonio for abortion rights, equal access to abortions, and making sure people were aware of their rights, and making sure people were registered to vote. And besides all of the things that I've listed, I just more importantly, coming from my background and being from Brownsville, I wanted to take this opportunity going into the semester and being involved in orgs and things that would help me become like a better, like hone my skills in a way, and then being able to bring those skills back to my community and being able to, make a difference wherever I go. And then that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Johnson?
I move that we go to a period of questioning.
Is there a second?
Senator M seconds.
If there are no objections, we'll move to a period of voting. Senator Johnson, you have the first question.
So I actually kind of just have two questions.
Sorry, point of information, Mr. Speaker. We're moving to a period of questioning.
That's correct.
You said period of voting.
Excuse me, period of questioning.
I thought he said that. So as a fellow political science major, very kudos to that, by the way.
Thank you.
Where do you want to go with that in like a career?
So right now I'm studying for the LSAT, and I'm hoping to
Right on.
go to law school, maybe in a couple of years, maybe like in 2.
Wow.
But yeah, that's really where I wanna practice immigration law.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
And we asked this kind of for every Supreme Court justice. Have you looked at or read in any the bylaws / constitution of the SGA?
Yes.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Senator Guevara?
Hello, I'm Abby. So as a Supreme Court appointment, do you feel like you can provide an unbiased ruling on any case brought to you?
Yes. I believe that comes with being in that position, being able to make unbiased decision.
Thank you.
Are there, Senator Johnson?
How were you made aware, or did you find out that there was still a vacancy for this appointment?
So I had spoken to Casey, yeah, and I was just telling him, a little bit like, yeah, like I want to get involved, I want to be in in student government, I wanted to be a senator, do things like that. But then he told me, yeah, I was like, yeah, we have a bunch of positions open, election board and justice and stuff like that, and I felt like this position was more, in regards to like time commitment and things like that. Like it worked works really well with my schedule, and I feel like it's something that that I could really like. Where this is where like I feel I can make a difference in that.
Thank you so much.
Senator Lee.
Hello. First, I want to say welcome to UNT on campus. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So you're a senior, correct?
Yes.
All right. So you mentioned time commitment. I'm sure seniors have a lot of extra things to handle with prepping for graduation. Do you feel confident that you can dedicate the right amount of time to SGA?
Absolutely. Like for example, this semester I'm taking 5 classes. Next semester I'll be taking my capstone and an elective, and that's about it. So, and then I'm also not working, so I have like no other commitments.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions, motions on the floor? Senator Johnson?
Mr. Speaker, if there are no further questions, I move that we go to a period of closed voting.
Is there a second?
Senator Allen seconds.
Are there any objections? If not, then we'll move to a period of closed voting. If you wouldn't mind stepping out for a moment, and Madam Secretary will come and get you. All right, Madam Secretary, if you wouldn't mind taking roll.
Point of information. Are we including our new senator in the roll call?
Yep.
Senator Allen,
Aye.
Senator Lee,
Aye.
Senator Castellanos,
Aye.
Senator Gillis,
Sorry, this is very new to me. Aye.
Senator Guevara,
Aye.
Senator Johnson,
Aye.
Senator McFarland,
Aye.
Senator Mosley,
Aye.
Senator Bonvoris,
I'm so sorry. Aye.
Senator M,
Aye.
Senator Cowell,
Aye.
and Senator Schulte, aye.
All right, since all in favor, they have been appointed. Congratulations on your appointment to the Supreme Court. Next up, we have Senate committee appointments for the new senators. I don't think I have any materials for that, but we do have 4 committees. If I can scroll back up to them. So there are 4 committees: the Campus Life and Environment Committee, the Diversity and Inclusion Committee, the Internal Senate Committee, and the Legislative Affairs Committee. Is there confusion? Okay. So there are 4 committees. The Campus Life and Environment Committee focuses on campus life and improving campus life and things like that. The Diversity and Inclusion Committee focuses on creating a more equitable community at UNT. The Internal Senate Committee deals with internal rules, procedures, and code of conduct referrals for the Senate in particular. And the Legislative Affairs Committee works especially with bylaws, constitutional amendments, and other legislative affairs. So we have several senators who are not on committees. Can you raise your hand if you're not on an internal committee, please? Okay, so everyone needs to be on a committee. So I'll open nominations for a committee, and feel free to nominate yourself to a committee. Senator Cowell.
Hello, sorry. I nominate Senator Gillis to the Diversity and Inclusion Committee.
Do you accept Senator Gillis?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Senator Allen?
Senator Allen would like to nominate themselves for the Diversity and Inclusion Committee.
Are there any other nominations? Senator McFarland?
Senator McFarland nominates themselves for the Diversity and Inclusion Committee.
Are there any other nominations? Senator Johnson?
Just also want to put that out there that the Senate Internal Committee is also kind of, oh, sorry, wrong one. Yes, I also want to move for Senator Gillis to be on the Campus Life and Environment Committee.
Do you accept Senator Gillis?
Yes.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Okay, so the chair moves to amend the Diversity and Inclusion Committee to include Senator Allen, Senator McFarland, and Senator Gillis. Is there a second?
Senator Mosley seconds.
Are there any objections? All right, then it's so amended. The chair moves to amend the Campus Life and Environment Committee membership to include Senator Gillis. Is there a second?
Senator Cowell seconds.
Are there any objections? Then it's so amended. All right. We'll move on to what everyone was probably waiting for. Here it is.
Mr. Sergeant at Arms, did Devin want to be recognized?
Would someone like to recognize Devin Skinner?
Senator Lee recognizes our president.
Is there a second?
Senator Gillis seconds.
If there are no objections, Mr. President.
Thank you. Just wanted to, because we do have a new senator and we've been getting an influx of new senators. Just a couple of things. Joining an internal committee, which y'all have already taken care of, is of course a requirement for senators. Joining an external committee is also a requirement, and so that application is in the link on our social media account bios. I can also send it to you if you are having trouble accessing it. You'll also need to go and fill out the SGA member entry form. That's some introductory documentation, and you'll want to make sure that you join the SGA boards link if you haven't already done so. Just wanted to get some of the housekeeping stuff out of the way since we were kind of on the subject.
Thank you, Mr. President. That is true. If you guys want any help with that, the recently appointed senators, please come up afterwards and I'll try to get that sorted with you. Okay, so now we'll move on to the consideration of the Senate Code of Conduct amendment originally introduced by the Vice President with amendments introduced by the Internal Senate Committee. I have a document for us. So the Senate internal, I promised I'd give you guys updates. The Senate Internal Committee made a couple amendments to this and referred it back to the Senate. There were some slight grammar issues up here that we fixed. We also struck the first section, subsection A, and we inserted this section right here. So it now reads the disclosure of affiliation or connection to include providing their signature to an appointment petition shall be done through a verbal statement before the candidate is given the floor to speak on their appointment. Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Cowell.
I guess this is more of a question. Would the B need to be changed to A since we're striking subsection
Yes, in the original document given to the vice president, that's how it was.
Okay.
But he wanted to make sure that everyone was understood the changes that happened. But yes, the numbering will all be correct. Senator Lee.
Senator Lee moves for the Sergeant at Arms to read the document.
Yes, of course. So whereas the Student Senate is comprised of 45 representatives from each college, whereas SGA bylaws Article 1, Section 6 requires
Point of
students.
information, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Senator Johnson.
Did that motion need to have a second?
No, it's any member's right.
Thank you.
Whereas SGA bylaws Article 1, Section 6 requires student signatures, student names, and ID numbers to represent a college, school, or academy to be appointed to the Senate. Whereas senators providing their signature for a candidate's okay, so this document actually is not the updated document. But whereas senators providing their signature for a candidate's attempted appointment to the Student Senate represents a conflict of interest, therefore, with the consent of the Senate, it is ordered that the following changes be made to the Senate Code of Conduct. Article 2, Expectations, Section 7, Senate Appointments. Senators shall disclose any current and past affiliations or connection to a candidate being considered for appointment to the Student Senate. The disclosure of affiliation or connection to include providing their signatures to an appointment petition shall be done through a verbal statement before the candidate is given the floor to speak on their appointment. It is recommended that a senator meeting the above criteria abstain from a vote of confirmation for the candidate in question, respectfully submitted. Senator Schulte.
Senator Schulte would like to recognize Stacy, our Chief of Staff.
Senator Johnson seconds.
If there are no objections, Mr. Jimenez.
Hello. I'll speak if y'all go into a discussion period. Unless y'all let me speak on an item, I would suggest that maybe you think about the signature portion when it comes to senators signing on to someone's signature list. Is that taking away from a future senator talking to one of their constituents? Just that thought process and whether senators should be signing on, especially within their own body. The executive branch currently has a policy of not signing on to anybody's appointments, but just something to think about.
Senator Johnson.
To hopefully get from I'd like to move to amend the document.
How would you move to amend the document?
Just the grammar errors so we get it all out of the way real quick.
So that's the document that we should be considering. I'm actually in the process of trying to get it where it needs to be. The chair moves a recess of 5 minutes to sort technical errors. Is there a second?
Senator Johnson seconds.
If there are no objections, we'll recess for 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's a private one.
Blasting through this though, huh? All right, so this meeting will come back from recess. There is still a quorum present, so we'll continue. This is the document as amended by the Senate Internal Committee. Yeah, so I'll take motions. Senator Johnson.
I move that we go to a period of discussion.
Is there a second?
Senator Cowell seconds.
If there are no objections, we'll move to a period of discussion. Senator Johnson, you have the first point.
So as a member on the Senate Internal Committee, this was the point that Casey brought up, or sorry, Chief of Staff Jimenez brought up, was something that was discussed and it was deliberated upon. From my understanding, this is what was decided then. If Casey, if your point being brought up, was it that this takes away from senators reaching out to their constituents, or it helped or hurt in which way? Can you go further into detail on that?
Is there a motion to recognize Casey Jimenez?
Senator M. Motion is to recognize Casey Jimenez.
Senator Allen seconds.
Mr. Jimenez?
Yes, so I'm not really speaking on my personal opinion, and I don't want to bring that into the Senate Code of Conduct because that's not my place to be. I'm here more speaking from what has been said or why this was originally submitted from David's perspective since he is not able to be here. I'm really just putting that thought into y'all's head because I also wasn't in the committee meeting, just so everyone's thinking about that point from the same perspective how we will look at from our positions as well. You know, I'm not here against, but just putting the thought in y'all's mind.
If the Senate wouldn't mind me speaking on it, I tried to broker a compromise in the committee meeting, and this is the compromise that we arrived upon. It is important to note that the executive branch does not sign Senate appointment petitions. Senator Cowell.
This is a question for a member of the committee. Was David present at the meeting where you guys made the changes in green?
He was not present. Are there any other discussion points? Senator M?
So David looked at the document already, and then he's like approved it, and he's like with the document, correct? Or he's like,
I'm not sure of his opinion on the document. I'm not sure that it. This is my opinion, but I'm not sure that it matters since we're the ones who have to abide by it. To my understanding, the vice president is not bound by the Senate Code of Conduct. Senator Johnson.
Yeah, David wasn't present at the meeting, but as he mentioned when this was referred back to the committee, that this is something that is a Senate internal matter. If a senator wants to change it or do anything like that, it's up to the Senate or senators to decide that. But again, as both chairperson and speaker and sergeant of arms right now pointed out, that this was a compromise. No one left the table no one was a winner. It was a great compromise for everybody, and everyone on the committee agreed with it in that sense that we agreed on approving this to be brought before y'all.
Yes, it was unanimously approved. Senator Lee.
So is there, like, shouldn't we then remove David's name from the submission? I don't know. I think I'm just confused why y'all like amended it and kept his name versus just proposing an amendment here, but
That's a good point. The body is more than welcome to make that amendment with the consent of the committee members that are here to add their names to it.
I don't think we should add our names to it. Oh, was I supposed to raise my hand?
Yeah, so Senator Lee, do you have anything further to add?
I mean, if it's not something David approved, it just feels kind of strange to have his name putting that he submitted it. Not like, again, just to be blunt, like, I don't think his opinion matters on this as much as it does ours, which is why, like, I don't know if his thing should be there if it's not something that he's putting forward. Just so, you know, if it's published, if it goes through and it's not something David agrees with, I don't want it to cause trouble.
Yeah, and I understand. It is worthwhile to note that once a piece of legislation hits the Senate floor, it's no longer the property of that person, although we definitely we don't want their signature to be there if they don't want it to be there. Senator, I'll take a discussion point. Senator Guevara.
I think since David's originally the one who submitted it, we should keep the name on it, but we could put like a revised by, since this is his original framework and we just made suggestions.
Would you like to make that motion?
I don't know how to make that motion.
It would probably be something along the lines of, yeah, amending the document to read respectfully submitted David Muñoz-Sarabia. I'm sorry. UNT SGA vice president amended by, and then the members. Something along those lines, perhaps?
Pass the baton to me there, Abigail.
Senator Johnson.
So I move to amend the document.
In what way? The way?
Okay, just make sure we're ready on
Yeah.
that one. To keep respectfully submitted, Vice President David, and then add revised by the Senate Internal Committee.
Okay. I would ask that the members give their approval to have their name attached to the document. Senator Guevara?
I approve, but I don't know about JD since they're not here.
Since JD is not here, I don't think he can really give his approval. So we'll probably leave his name off.
Then it would be for the members present today then.
All right, let me type that out for y'all.
For the record, is there a second to Grant's amendment?
Senator Guevara, second.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker, would it be?
Please.
You may be fixing it right now. Sorry. Would it not read Senator Abigail Guevara?
Yeah, there's a precedent, and I can't quite remember what it is, but I believe it looks more like this. Is that amendment is that what you're looking for, Senator Johnson?
You left the C in chair unitalicized.
Yeah, it's italicized.
Guess my vision's not what it used to be. Then yes, I approve of that.
Okay, are there any discussion points on the amendment? Are there any motions? Senator Johnson?
I move that we vote on this piece of, I guess, is it considered legislation now?
It's an amendment.
Then I move that we vote on the amendment.
So is there a second?
Senator Lee objects.
Okay.
It's okay.
Senator, is there a reason for objection?
We didn't discuss like the actual document. Oh, okay, sorry, I zoned out. That's why I was like, what? I retract my objection. I am
Okay.
so sorry.
Is there a second?
Senator Cowell, seconds.
Okay. We'll do it by hand vote. All in favor of this amendment, raise your hand. All opposed? All right, the amendment passes unanimously.
Andy.
Yep. Is that Devin?
Senator M moves to recognize President Skinner.
Senator Cowell, seconds.
If there are none opposed, Devin Skinner, please.
Thank you. Sorry, I think my connection cut out. Just to emphasize, I did double check the entry form. I believe JD's pronouns are they, them. and I'd ask that the body use those pronouns for future reference.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Are there any discussion points on the document?
Point of
Senator
information, are we now discussing the document as a whole?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Senator Johnson.
This is kind of a point, or 'cause we're still in the period of discussion, correct?
That's correct. We are discussing the document as a whole.
With that said, I believe Senator Lee brought up an objection that she withdrew. I just wanted to know where, if anyone has a problem with this piece of legislation now. If not, then wait till after that.
Thank you. Are there any discussion points? Would someone like to recognize Casey Jimenez?
Senator Cowell recognizes the Chief of Staff.
Senator Allen seconds.
If there are no objections, Chief?
Another thing that I would also take in mind is subsection B, item B. Although it does say recommend, if senators were to go through with that, with abstaining from a vote, depending on how many people were on it, you make the barrier for entry a lot harder for people that are trying to make it into the Senate if they do abstain.
Thank you. Senator Johnson?
Maybe I'm just lost, but Casey, are you like trying to bring up points that you're in favor for this, or like I know you're trying to be like impartial a little bit, but like are you pointing out flaws in this, or pointing out that it, like I'm a little lost at what you're trying to tell us here.
I think, if I may, I think Casey is simply trying to point out things in the document. I don't think he's trying to take a position.
I know. I just want to know, like, would the things that you bringing up hurt or help? That's where I'm lost at.
I'm just providing a perspective. There was a appointment earlier that had about 7 senators signed on to it. If all 7 senators would have abstained, they would not be a senator.
If that is the reason, isn't that why it's called recommended and not?
No, I agree. I'm just saying that barrier for entry could be harder, but that's just my perspective on it. And I'll let y'all discuss that as needed. I just wanted to make sure y'all are aware of information like that.
That clears it up. That clears it up for me. Thank you.
Senator Lee?
I mean, I personally, I disagree with that if I can as a discussion point. Like for Senator Allen's nomination, me and Luke both know them personally. We both abstained, and it's, I think, you know, if the candidate is correct and the general Senate body agrees, it doesn't normally be an issue. It's not a normal occurrence that 7 senators, which is more than half of us, I believe, at this point, would sign on. And I mean, in that situation, I guess it'd be discretion. I mean, I personally think I'm okay with how it used to be, where like no senator shall provide their signature, because again, I think it encourages them to talk to constituents. But I don't think it's too important of an issue. I'm fine with voting on it.
Thank you. Senator Johnson?
Senator Johnson moves that we vote on this piece of legislation.
Is there a second?
Senator Cowell seconds.
Okay. If there are no objections, Madam Secretary, will you take the roll call?
Senator Allen?
Aye.
Senator Lee?
Aye.
Senator Castellanos?
Aye.
Senator Gillis?
Aye.
Senator Guevara?
Aye.
Senator Johnson?
Aye.
Senator McFarland?
Aye.
Senator Mosley?
Aye.
Senator Van Boris,
Aye.
Senator Cowell,
No.
Senator M,
Nay.
and Senator Schulte, aye.
Did we miss?
Let's stay in order, please. So the motion has passed 10-2. The amendment will be made. All right. I think we kind of went out of order, so just give me a moment. But I think that is the last thing. So we're to everyone's favorite time, shout outs. Who wants to make a shout out? Senator Johnson.
This may be a little selfish, but my legislation was actually enacted and now on hopefully every UNT campus lab computer as a shortcut for campus now. So I thought that was a little.
Senator Guevara.
Shout out to Ethan Gillis, our new senator. Second shout out, if I may, please. Second shout out to Internal Senate Committee. I haven't realized this, but we do a lot of stuff, and it's really difficult sometimes. So congrats to everybody. Woo!
Yes, sir. Senator M.
Shout out to Andy over here doing a great job being the speaker, right? Speaker of the Senate today. So good job to you.
Senator Lee.
Shout out to our new Supreme Court appointee. Is he still here? Ben. That's yay. Anyways, and then a second one, just yay. Second one, just shout out to all of us guys. This is the fastest we've ever gone through a meeting. This is great.
Senator Johnson.
This is maybe an old shout out, but it still I think needs recognition. To shout out to Bella for being on the homecoming royalty. I believe that's what it's called. Court. Sorry.
Senator Allen.
Okay, two things. First thing is, shout out to Luke. His birthday's coming up. Yay! Happy early birthday. Second, I don't know if this is like a shout out or announcement, but I have a choir concert coming up Tuesday, and I would love if you all would like come visit. It's in person. It's fine. Anyway, it's at 7:30, I believe, and I would really appreciate it if we had some actual people in the audience this time.
All right. Are there any other announcements? Senator Cowell.
Hi, everyone. The opera is going to be performing this weekend. So there are a ton of times. So, you know, if you're free and want something to do, go see the opera.
Senator M.
Another quick reminder that our first meeting for my org Tea Society is this Friday at our org, finally. What's the word I'm looking for? That's finally. I don't know. Anyway, it's gonna be at 4:30 to 5:30, and there will be games and there will be prizes. So if y'all are interested, there'll be gift cards. No.
Hey, Andy, I have an announcement.
Yes, please.
Okay, I just want to get this right, but I do want to let everybody know that NT40 applications are open right now. Grant, maybe you can help me out with this. I believe they close on Monday. So NT40 is a great organization to be a part of. If you want to ask anyone what NT40 is all about, Grant and I would be happy to assist you with that. I'm sure there's so many other people, and there's so many other people in SGA that are also a part of NT40 that I'm just sorry, I'm not sure who's all in attendance today. But yes, apply for NT40.
Yeah, it's a wonderful org. I mean, top 40 leaders on campus, great stuff.
Chief Jimenez.
I apologize. I have a little bit of a list. So the holiday party, we still have that planned for November 19th at 8 p.m. Please put that on your calendar. That is a Friday. Please show up. I'll be very sad. I'll be just drinking hot chocolate alone. But please, it's going to be in the President's Suite on the 4th. Any questions about that event, please let me know. We also have tailgating coming up for the homecoming game Saturday. The game's at 3. We'll be tailgating around noon to 3 o'clock. There'll be food, beverages, so please join us. Any new appointments, please see me after this meeting so I can get you an SGA polo. As well as if you need tabling supplies for tomorrow, please let me know. We can get that set up for you tomorrow. As well as shout out to the interns. Thank you for being here. I know JT would want to say that. All right. And then the athletic council, I sit on that committee. There is a deadline for Thursday to send agenda items. If there's anything senators or guests or anything you want us to bring up, I'll be more than happy to take some of those items to place on the agenda for Thursday, which is tomorrow. That's the deadline for discussion. So if you have anything about the athletics department or sports on campus, please let me know so I can bring that up. Please let me know before tomorrow. And then as another announcement, I'll go ahead and plug Bella as the homecoming nominee, and I'll speak real quick on that.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Grant, for bringing that up, and Casey. Homecoming voting opens next Monday. Please vote for me. I represent SGA this year on the court. My project is menstrual hygiene products in the men's bathroom for our trans and non-gender conforming students. So please vote for me. I want this to happen. The court's published already on like their socials and stuff, so you can check out everyone else. But I do represent SGA, and y'all are in SGA, so please vote for me. And you can talk to me about anything after if you need. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yeah, I've got a few things. Just wanted to congratulate our new appointees. I know that that's already been said quite a few times, but I don't get to be there today to do that in person, so I figured I'd do it here. Congratulations. In addition, I'm also very excited to see Bella on the homecoming homecoming court this year. Homecoming is always a very interesting time. I always enjoy seeing how it pans out, and I have the highest confidence in Bella's leadership and Bella's project to be able to win this out. So very excited to see Bella on the court, and I'm really looking forward to next week. Just wanted to reiterate that the Board of Regents and the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board applications are still live. That's on our website. Please fill it out if you're interested. If you know other people that are interested, please send them the link as well. But I think that's all I've got.
All right, Senator Johnson.
I know we're kind of doing like a hybrid of announcements / shout outs, but I think Chief of Staff, or should I say Coach Jimenez, for this past volleyball game did an amazing job. The team worked very well and did their best, but Casey was probably one of the best players on there. He was there the entire time, didn't get subbed, but he was an awesome player and did an amazing job.
Casey deserves all the shout outs. I'm gonna kind of piggyback on that. Casey, you do an amazing job. Thank you for everything that you do for all of us, both execs, Senate, interns, everything. You are amazing, and I appreciate, along with everybody else, we appreciate your hard work.
All right. So if there are no more announcements, I declare this meeting adjourned at 7 o'clock. If you're newly appointed and you would like help with anything, just come up here and I'll try to help you.